Jlafet versus Ezad. Ooh, an Ezad game. That's a nice one. We'll enjoy that. Loading in right now. Okay, so Ezad is the Maltese, and Jlafet, or whatever his name is playing as the Indians. So Malta versus India. Two pretty fun civs to play. I would say competitively, India has a pretty strong advantage here. They got a lot of solid troops. Malta is going to have to come up with a pretty good defense here against any sort of India push, really. India, they're best known for their initial sepoy push that they use either as a full rush or as a semi-fast fortress, and then they quickly try to shift things into Age 3 where they bring in the elephants, namely the Mahouts, to bring in that splash damage and anti-skirmisher power to the whole mix. So I think in general any India you deal with is going to be very dangerous. It looks like this India is going for fast age up, sacrificing not getting any wood for villagers and going right for the food. Yeah, as with the Indians, you got two choices. You can either play sort of slow and normal and have like 6 or 7 vills on wood and go up to 15, 16 villages like other civs do, or you can take all your Indian villagers and put them right on the hunts, and you get a really fast age up time that you can either do for Agrifort or Karnamata, depending on what your strategy is. And the only drawback of doing it this way is that you will not get extra villagers for a while, you know. So obviously you're going to have to wait till you get to that 800 food, set up your wonder, and then move your villagers over to wood so they can build their first house and then get villagers. So theoretically, hurts your vill count a little bit, but it does ensure that you can get your wonder set up rather quickly. Right, so looks like going for Agrifort. Why else would a vill be out this far from the base? Looks like the Agrifort is going to go up around here. Or right over here. Where's the Agrifort going to go up? Right in this spot. Good spot. It's protecting a mine, protecting this hunt, sword protecting this one, and then it's protecting this native site too. So that's a really good Agrifort site. Generally, when you're setting up Agrifort, or really any fort as a civ, try to put it near the most mines and hunts that you can. Another thing you can put near is a trade socket too, whether it's on the trade route or a native site. The more of them you can connect it to, the better that defensive structure is going to serve you in map control and really all the resources you're going to need to keep up with the fighting, you know. First card is always going to be the wood trickle card, distributivism. Hopefully I always pronounce that correctly. It's a pretty decent wood trickle. Very important for India, since India, your villages cost wood. So wood is actually very important when you're India. Lots and lots of wood. And Malta going up with the Core Master. What have they done so far? They've gone 3 vills. Will they be... Yep, they will be chopping wood, I believe, to get their German tongue card. It's a very popular card with the Maltese. Gives you some free settler wagons. Really good 2-pop villager that gathers really nice. It's essentially 2 villagers in one. And even gives you a build limit good enough to train some more from the commander it gives you too. So, really good eco potential there. And then often you can combine that with Wignacourt construction. Wignacourt construction basically gives your villagers a really insane natural resource gather rate. It gives it up to 30% around defensive structures. That could be a town center, a tower, a fort, a commandery, any of those. Makes your villagers gather 30% better around those things. That's pretty good. And even if you're not near a defensive structure, it still benefits your villagers gather rate by 10% anywhere on the map from natural resources. So it's a pretty lame card if you're not going to utilize the defensive structure part of it, but if you set up your bases well and you lure your hunts into the defensive structures, you can get 30% gather rate on that. That's pretty good. It's really good, actually. India's already aged up because they did their quick 10 vill age up. They got 2 free sepoys from the Wonder age up of the Agrifort. Means that they can apply a little bit of annoying pressure here, but nothing too serious. They're going to scare these vills off and put them towards this wood line here. German tongue is coming out from Malta right now. Get some nice settler wagons. Right here, very nice, 2 of them. Basically the value of 4 villagers. It's actually a pretty good card in that sense. And then you get a commander. Oh, he's got his first batch of sepoys already ready to go to attack the command. He should be attacking the commandery right now. He should have attacked the commandery and, like, tried to chip away at the HP on that thing. But I guess he was looking for blood for villagers, so that's understandable. If you can, definitely if you can take out somebody's villagers, that's going to be the best thing you can do. But I would have totally went after the commandery, too. Because now this is another defensive building that you have to worry about shooting at you when you're trying to rush this player. That is if he's planning on playing Super Duper Rush. We'll have to find out. What is this India's plans? Because it's a bit confusing to figure it out right away. Because India, even if they're going for Fast Fortress, will always start out with some sepoy training. It just benefits them to do so, to put out sometimes 16 to 20 sepoys onto the field and just rush around the map doing that while they're planning their Age 3. We don't know if they're planning an Age 3 though, because it looks like they are making another batch of sepoys right now. What cards did they send? 5 sepoys out so far, which tells me maybe this is a more aggressive build right here. Maybe they're going for a push. Looks like they might be. Because normally if you're going for the Fast Fortress route, you go with foreign logging first, or wood, depending on the urgency of the wood, and then you get the gold. So I'm thinking a little bit more this is more aggro, you know? Could potentially set up a stable, get some Sawars going. Eventually get a consulate. That's usually a good thing to do eventually, and go Ottomans, so you can get some free bills. But yeah, no, definitely he's going big stacking of these sepoys. He's gonna start some Gurkha as well. So he has a little bit of a bite against muskets and other heavy infantry. Wignacourt constructions coming in for the Malta right now. They also sent their wood card previously so that they could have enough wood for defenses to get to hospitals, so they can start making pikemen, crossbowmen, pike and shot. That's usually a very strong setup for the Maltese, is to go pike and shot. Use the pikemen to fight the cav, use the crossbowmen to fight the muskets and any sort of ranged troopers that you get. It'll go kind of well against sepoy. You see, sepoys, they're a pretty strong musket unit to say the least. So they'll be able to apply some okay pressure here, and probably down a ton of pikemen in the process too, to try to pursue them. He's not using his pikemen just yet. He's making sure he only uses the crossbowmen to try to counter them. Right now, though, the crossbow numbers are not super big yet, so sepoys can still sort of contest with them a bit. But they will decide to pull out, I think, and wait till they get some more equipment to go for a real push here. Yeah. Double queuing crossbowmen, shipping in about 8 pikemen. It's always a good precaution to do against India, because you never know if they're going for that fortress age and putting out the elephants. Right, the elephant in the room. Because those elephants with their splash attack will destroy your whole crossbow army instantly if you do not have any sort of anti-cav on there. Going for the consulate now. Diplomatic intrigue is coming in. Consulate will go up right over there. Standard consensus is that you're going to go with the Ottomans. Get that nice batch of villagers. Maybe get some Azaps. Maybe get some Delhis. Or any sort of combination of that. Sepoys, they are trying to get back to their agrifort. You can tell crossbowmen are going to take every chance they can to get a good volley in on one of these sepoys especially. Right? Not quite enough Gurkhas yet to hold the line against this many crossbowmen, so you gotta be careful. Oh, interesting. So the India was trying to herd the hunt in here towards this direction. And it looks like that's going to be stalled a little bit, because I think they probably wanted both the bison and the pronghorn, but unfortunately now they were just able to push in the pronghorn at this point because of Malta's pressure game that they're playing. Malta switching it up a bit, getting Hussar and Sentinel now, so their musket unit and their hand cav. You also got steel traps, because if they're going to be making some of these beefier food costing units, they're going to need more food, so steel traps is a must. Zelis from the Ottoman consulate are coming around to swoop at the crossbowmen, but they completely miss it because of the interception of the pikes. Now it looks like Delis are going to have to find some sort of means to raid if they can't go over those archers. Right now, Malta's holding the line okay. They're doing alright. They're doing reasonably well. I think we're getting to the point now where India could potentially think about Fortress Age. They've got enough food for it at this stage, I think. They just need to get the 700 coin, which they're pretty close to being able to start that card. Multiplayer, shipping in 8 crossbowmen. What other cards do they got? So they got their wood still, their gold. They got their hospitality card there. Your age up is faster. That's quite good if they need it. So, yeah, Ottomans still have a bit of steam rolling for them. Maltese and Ottomans have a bit of campaign stuff in my brain there. Yeah. Whenever you think of the Ottomans, you think of the Maltese, and then when you think of the Maltese, you think of the Ottomans, because that was the whole first Age of Empires 3 campaign. So, yeah. If I said Ottomans any other times, I completely apologize for that. I really do. But nah. It's probably because the games we saw this tournament, this stream, was all Ottomans, and now we finally get another Civ that has a red flag like the Ottomans, the Maltese, with the cross instead of an Islam moon thing. So, yeah. More halali. Yeah, more halali is right. Let's see here. So the gold is coming. Yep, got the gold. We're definitely looking at a Fortress Age for India. What is Malta's plan going to be? So Malta's plan is probably going to be to do the same. Touche. Go with their own gold. But they are going to queue up a Order Hussar from their commandery as well. Important fact about cavalry, or actually any unit that you train from a commandery. Any unit you train from a commandery, auto upgrades. It gets shadow teched. So you don't even have to upgrade those Hussars. They just upgrade themselves, which is good. And I believe they're statistically a bit stronger than the normal unit counterpart too, because they have like 33 hand attack, their HP is a bit better. So, yep, training commandery units, whether it's the standard Hussar and Dragoon there or some of the tongue card ones that you can unlock, generally a great idea. Yeah. Looks like the only tongue card he will be using is the Spanish, so there might be some Lancers here that we see a bit later. We'll have to find out, though. We'll have to find out. Looks like Hussars grouping up around there. Yeah. Yeah, no, you get some good tongue card options as Malta. You can get Oprishniks, Cuirassiers, Cazadors, Longbowmen. Some pretty spicy options. Going Lancers is totally fine, too. Bishop. So the Bishop gives you a free covered wagon so you can get a town center. That'll help the Ottomans boom their economy a bit better. It's especially good since they already have the protection of these commanderies in these areas. So, yep, Malta's the turtle civ. They're really good at turtling, you know. And when you're dealing with a civ like India, which tries to fight you out in the open and hit you with the big elephants like these, try to turtle up and make it real hard for them to do that, you know. I went with the Charminar Gate to get a free Mahout, and we'll likely follow up with a Mahout shipment potentially. He's got the 3 Mahout shipment, right? Yep, the big boy one with 3 Mahouts. Also going for veteran Sepoy right now, disciplined upgrade. He's got so many of them at this point. A veteran upgrade is a very good investment at this stage to get their stats to where they need to. It might even be good to get veteran Gurkha as well, because he's got enough Gurkhas to justify the veteran upgrade, I think, too. So, yeah, get all those upgrades out of the way. And will we begin? Yep, Mahout shipment is in. The big boy 3 Mahout shipment. It's the most expensive one at 1,000 food. And then after that, you can follow it up with the little baby one. It's only 350 food, but you get 2 elephants, leading to a whopping 6 Mahouts, which is a pretty big mass of them. It's pretty formidable. Anything like crossbows or cannons gets consumed by that very quickly. Yeah. And normally what you do when you have Mahouts, combine them with Gurkhas. Combine them with Gurkhas, which he's doing from his Agri Fort right now, which is super smart. Because the biggest threat to your Mahouts is going to be anti-cav. And what's the best way to fight anti-cav? Gurkhas. The stuff that counters the Mahouts, the Gurkhas counters perfectly. So combining Gurkhas with Mahouts is a very formidable decision. Yeah. And having that nice mass of sepoys there is never a bad thing either, honestly. So, yeah, quite good. Trying to see what else is going on the map in regards to map control. Does have his remaining delis up there ready to potentially raid something. Malta going for a town center pretty far out there on that mine. So they're really looking to stretch out and get some map control, which I think is a pretty smart idea. Oh, interesting. So, Malta sent this card. Steel Bolts. It essentially turns your crossbowmen into long-range siege troopers because they get this really nice long range where they can basically attack structures from very far away, effectively allowing them to siege really as good as almost a pikeman can in a sense. Well, maybe not as far as damage output is concerned, but definitely the fact that you can hit a building from super far away allows you to rush with these crossbowmen against players' bases very easily because they don't have to commit to going right up against the building and let the enemy attack them. You can sit safely back this far away and just keep bobbing it, basically. Ooh, Vitorosia. Oh wow, that's going to be a good card to send. Makes settlers and town centers significantly cheaper. That's going to be great for booming. Your villas are going to be like dirt cheap now with only 50 food. If you want to get a third town center, now that's going to be very cheap as well. And then you can go for like a full 3 TC boom with Malta. It's quite good. Yeah, see, because he went with Steel Bolts, he's going to constantly be able to keep bobbing this Agri Fort here with damage, which I think is quite good. Because as long as you can keep damaging it constantly, the India player won't be given the option to repair it at all and eventually lose the structure, which he could right now. I think he's going to lose that Agri Fort just because of the volume of crossbowmen that are on top of it right now. And the fact that he can potentially pull back a bit and continue to kite the structure a bit. Yeah, no, he's trying to... Oh no, Arumis, these are very dangerous. Arumis are melee skirmishers, so yeah, they might be infantry, but they have this big, nice whip sword that they have, and they do multipliers against muskets and dragoons, so they're essentially melee skirmishers. So that completely ravaged the sentinels, and they did a little bit of damage into the dragoons as well. So that was a gnarly push there by the India. Doing that was definitely a huge punishment there. Holding on to the Mahout on the side here so he can use it again a bit later. Multiplayer, not sure what to do, so going for archaic soldier combat. Beef up the crossbowmen, beef up the pikemen. Yeah, you're going to have to beef up those crossbowmen there, especially against veteran Gurkhas, which are no joke. Definitely not. Right now has the crossbowmen set on the infantry there. Also, I was just trying to see what I was going to do with that explorer there. Okay, going for the little baby Mahout shipping now. Needs a little bit more anti-skirmish, I think. That's probably what you're going to need there, honestly. If you're going to go up against this big, massive crossbowmen with all their upgrades at this stage, you're going to need some big, heavy hitters like the Mahouts. That being said, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. You know, you got this dragoon-wielding multiplayer ready to put those dragoons onto your elephants at any time and put a stop to them. So that's going to be a big risk there. Where's his barracks at? He's getting these Gurks from. It's somewhere over there. Right over here. All right. Oh, nice. So, Ezad is going to take advantage of this choke point between the native site and the water and actually build a fort there himself. He's also going to put up a gunpowder depot. These are structures that you can set up to explode on your enemies, but they will also hurt your troops too, so you got to be careful. It's like a big time bomb that you can set up. Also, if the enemy is dumb enough to attack this thing, it will also blow up on them, so there's no way to defuse the thing once it's there, you know. The best thing you can do is try to hit it from long range with like a mortar or something and clean it out that way. Otherwise, your troops are going to get destroyed by this thing. Yeah. Also, he set up a depot in that spot as well. This should be good. Generally speaking, depots are great at choke points, areas where the enemy can't afford to get around. Because as soon as they try to get through there, you're already going to hit them with that depot and go boom right on top of them. It's going to be quite good. Yeah. Switching to the British. Normally, mid-game H3 with India, you switch to British. So you can give your Mahouts and your other elite high HP units, which India has a ton of, more hit points as part of the British consulate bonus. That's the main reason you do that. You start with Ottomans to get the free villagers, get the nice early hand cav batch, and then it's quickly time to switch over the Brits and take advantage of that HP perk for your elephants. Because now these elephants will be quite formidable with that extra HP, basically. And then further, if you get time, you can go for elephant combat, 20% boost to the Mahout stats. That's a huge upgrade, 20%. It's quite substantial. Elephants are on top of the fort. They're trying to press the fort now. But I don't think Ezad's going to give him an opportunity to do that, because he's got a ton of archers now. And I don't think he has enough Gurks to compete with these crossbowmen. Ezad has done a good job at counterattacking and building the necessary force he needs to clinch this game. And now, Steel Bolt's Epi inactive, can have a ton of extra range there to hit this consulate. Maybe move on to this house, move on to the barracks. He's pressuring him pretty good here. I mean, this is a huge threat. Yep, the consulate's... oh man, he was gonna cancel. He wanted to cancel his alliance there, but he didn't have time to. Oh boy. What is he thinking? Thinking about maybe going back to the Ottomans again to get Delhi's? I don't know. I don't know what his method to his madness is there. I don't think he's going Grenadiers. I don't think he's going Bestieiros with the Portuguese. He's most definitely going for the Romalia Delhi's again. Yeah. But either way, though, India's got a bit of trouble. They really can't push through the center of the map now. This is like effectively permanently part of Malta at this point. This is like Malta territory. Same thing over here. This is not a good point of attack either. If you're going to attack as India, you're probably going to have to come down like here and do something. Oh look, wow, he's bold. He's taking his settler wagon, his big important beefy villager, and trying to build a fast outpost here too to claim this hunt. Yeah, reason for risking a settler wagon there is because not only do they gather as fast as 2 vills, they build as fast as 2 vills too. So yeah, it's a nice easy unit to command and get the job done quickly. Just gotta cross your fingers he doesn't croak, because obviously losing a settler wagon is a huge loss compared to a settler. Oh wow, using the British consulate to get the batch of petards there. Attack the fort with. Just, not enough to get the fort down though, so kind of a botched attempt there. I think Malta has this. Unless the Mahouts can perform optimally. Oh no, he got a few pikemen there too to stall the elephants and let the dragoons cream them. Wow, that was great. Oh, and now he's adding Cheyennes in too. He's like, GG, man. Yeah. GG. Yeah. Yeah, once the Malta is so established with his boom that he has the resources for the Cheyennes, you know you're in trouble. Because the Cheyennes, they're like mounted pikemen. They're kind of the prototype units that the Infernales from Wars of Liberty were inspired by almost. So yeah, very dangerous unit. So once you get sort of the excess food and wood to be able to add those in on top of your crossbowmen and stuff, you know it's over. Absolutely, it's over. It was a good battle, though. It was a good battle. Ezad is a very solid player in D3, so I expected he was going to do well there.